Good evening, good evening, good evening. You got Gord. You're happy hippie. And you've got story time. You guys have been asking for it, so what the heck? Here I am. It is Monday night. I've had quite a day, and I'm unwinding with my favorite medicine, a high CBD plant. Not my favorite. Um, what do I say? Yeah, see, I'm losing it already, but I'll get you to the story. This is one to one, a really good one to one named One to One. It's it's low THC, low high CBD. It's probably about 10% each. It's a hybrid. It's the perfect mix between the day. Usually the high CBD plants I've been getting, except critical mass, but I can't find that in plant form too often, have been sativa. And I'm not really a sativa man. I like sativa once in a while. I had a person question me about one of my reviews of a Yokan product, the Uni. I love it. And he asked if it worked with the Hive 2.0 or the Flick. And so I grabbed my Flick. I grabbed my Flick really well and I gave a toke on it and put it in the Uni and took a toke from it. The Uni is a battery receptacle for cartridges. And yeah, even the ones you can load yourself, so therefore you can take one product and use it with the other. So, where was that going? It's story time, and so far I've taken you down a couple of roads and haven't really told you anything. And I lost my train of thought on that last one. What other show, except on the Weed channel, except WeedTube, uh, can you watch somebody, follow them, and they lose their train of thought, and that's cool. That's not bad editing. That's cool. Cool. It happens. I actually, before this, had already smoked half of this. It is really helping me cope with a hard day. But Eddie, I think, asked for some Gord stories when Gord was young, and I was trying to think of which one do I tell? He was always having an issue. He broke his arm one time, but I think that the best story is when he was fairly little. He was 3, maybe 4, and he, I think, was being a bit of a bad boy. Or it was by mistake, but he closed the cat's tail in a door, and the cat clinged to his leg and then his other leg and left near 100 holes in the 2 legs. So I had to take him to the hospital, and they had to make sure that he's going to be okay, because that's some pretty bad damage. They had to pump him with penicillin in stronger and stronger doses. Start in a fairly weak dose, and every 6 hours, 4 times a day, every 6 hours, on that 6 hour, he had to go through another quite a bit. I don't remember how many, or even if I knew how much, but go through getting it pumped heavy into his system for about, they do it very slowly through an IV, and that had to go on for 4 days, and he had to wear an IV and just have it wrapped and covered. And that's what this point is, the one that's going to surprise you. When I took him home after every single dose, every 6 hours, what we had to do was we would, let's take it from home. we had to be at the hospital 1 hour prior to his time. So if it was 10 o'clock at night, we had to be there. We had to be there at 9, so that they could prep him and clean the thing he was wearing, rather than finding the vein that many times. Then they would pump it, and it would take half an hour, 15 minutes, half an hour, and then they'd release it and release him home. And by that time, you've spent a good 2 hours. And then you had to start again, that whole cycle, in 3 hours to meet that 6 hours between each dose. And yet, they said, we can't put up a hospital bed. He has to go home between. We call this outpatient. How's it an outpatient when the kid for 4 days can only sleep in 2 or 3 hour increments? And Dad as well. He was very nice to cats after that. But he was never bad with cats. So I don't know. I think one of his sisters thought that, yeah, he hurt the cat on purpose. But I don't think he did. But it doesn't matter. I mean, we all learn our lessons. And that was a hell of a time. But it bonded us because it was just me and Gordy. His mother was looking after my other 2 daughters then. And I would just keep them. And we worked, because they were living with her at the time. And we would just go back and forth and back and forth. And it was tough. But we got through it, and we were better for it. And we've always been close, and that's why he still lives here. He helps me. He helps me a lot. And so shout out to you, Gordy, but he doesn't really watch my videos. He's got his own world. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. I'll catch you on the flip side. I will see you tomorrow morning for another Hippie Talks. Peace.